Well, I was born and raised in northern Indiana. I'm a city boy, Gary, Indiana. My grandparents were farmers, and their parents and their parents and their parents were farmers in southwestern Illinois. And so I guess I come from a farming background, but I've never actually farmed or been part of a farming operation. We met at the Air Force Academy when I was a student there, and Sharon's dad was stationed there. We got married about a year after I graduated. Traveled all over the world. We spent time in the Philippines and Korea and Okinawa and some assignments in the Midwest, Illinois and Ohio in particular. A lot of time in Albuquerque. So we never really put down any roots. And when I decided to retire from the Air Force in 2006, we kind of said, well, what do we want to do? Well, we knew we wanted to live in the mountains, and we met in Colorado, and we loved Colorado. Always wanted to come back, never got the chance. And so we did move back to Colorado. We knew we wanted to have a ranch, we knew we wanted to have horses. Didn't really know how we wanted to make that happen, whether we just wanted to, live in the retirement and have a small ranch, small number of horses, or try to do something more. We decided that we liked being around people, even though we didn't like being in the city. So we said, well, let's put a business together and see if we can have company every once in a while. So with the help of a friend and business partner, we bought San Juan Outfitting in 2008. We helped him find a ranch, and we purchased the ranch in 2008 as well, just north of Pagosa Springs, Colorado. We pretty much focus on just giving people the chance to get out in the wilderness, the southwestern Colorado wilderness, and have a good time, enjoy it, learn a little bit about horses if they don't know about it already. Well, we first heard about farm rescue over the internet, actually. We had just purchased the ranch, and we were looking for some farm equipment, a John Deere tractor in particular. And so we were kind of cruising the used tractor websites, and somewhere in there, and I'm not sure exactly where, somewhere in there we ran across a farm rescue link. It was actually my business partner, Steve, that did. And he called me up and he said, hey, I think these guys might be worthy of some attention. So we did a little research, got on your website, and absolutely loved what we saw. We liked the idea of giving money to an organization where the money goes directly towards helping these families help themselves. As they run across tough times, Farm Rescue can step in and perform the services that the farm family would be doing themselves if they could. It's not a handout, it's a hand up, if that makes sense. And I think that anybody who is thinking about giving money to Farm Rescue can know with all confidence that their money is going to be used well, it's going to be used wisely, and that these farm families are going to benefit from the services provided by Farm Rescue. Of course, with my grandparents and my great-grandparents being farmers, I know farmers, like ranchers, are proud people. Justifiably so, I think. I mean, it was farmers and ranchers that made this country what it is today. It allowed the Western expansion and enabled the country to become what it is in reality. And so that pride, I think, sometimes get in the way of folks like us asking for help. And but when you're a hard worker, and when you just come across a hard time, there's nothing wrong with just saying, hey, I need a little push here, or need a little help, I need a little pull, whatever. And an organization like Farm Rescue being there to help with the same kind of values that farmers have and ranchers have, it's just a great thing in our eyes. For example, driving across the Midwest, which we've had the occasion to do many times in our travels, it's a thrill for me to look out at the small farm and see this farmer out there. He's working from 5 in the morning or earlier to well past dark at night to do a good thing. And he's working hard. And it's really a throwback for me, thinking back to my grandparents and my great-grandparents. And there's a lot of nostalgia there for me. But it's really not about nostalgia. It's about making sure that people can maintain a lifestyle that's important to America, and a set of values that's important to America. I think in addition to the sponsors, every bit as important is the volunteers. The volunteers who are able to give of their time and their life to go out and help these families and actually do the work is phenomenal. I know you got a couple of retired farmers who help you out, and I saw a video about the Walmart manager that was out there doing the work. That's special. That, you know, when you take time out of your life to help these families, it's you know, I wish we were closer and we could do it. That's a real sense of fulfillment for the people that can and want to do that. I'm so glad that there's people out there that are willing and able to do that kind of thing. A lot harder than just writing a check. You know, they have to get out there and get their hands dirty and actually help these families. But the joy that they must feel being actually to meet the families and be on the farm and work it and be part of that accomplishment has got to be a thrill. And I want to thank those folks for being able to do that, and put a plug in for anybody that does have the time and the ability to get out there and volunteer to do so. At San Juan Outfitting, what we do is we do provide those opportunities to get folks back into the backcountry, as we call it, or the high country. With camps at 10,000 feet and above, we're pretty much right off the Continental Divide in the San Juan Mountains. The San Juan Mountains are probably the most beautiful mountains in Colorado, and we're lucky enough to live there. The ranch is about 30 minutes from our trailhead. It's also located in the San Juan Mountains. We've got about 350 acres or so in a beautiful setting in the East Fork of the Upper Piedra River. Piedra means stone in Spanish, and when you see the ranch, you'll understand why. We're hoping to do a small hay operation on the ranch, but we've got a lot of piedras to move before we do that. We're also going to grow hops on the ranch, so we're hoping to get into that business. And garlic. We're experimenting a little bit with garlic. So, you know, we're trying to get into the land a little bit ourselves. The outfitting, of course, is our main business. With the outfitting, we call them our guests. We don't call them clients or customers. They're our guests because we really are inviting them into our home, southwestern Colorado, San Juan Mountains. And so what folks will do is they'll come in, whether it's for a summer pack trip or whether it's for a hunting expedition. They'll come in, they can fly into Durango or Albuquerque, which is about 3.5 hours away. Durango's about an hour and a half. Or they can drive in. And usually what we do is the night before the trip, we'll meet the folks at the ranch, we'll collect all their gear, and then I'll spend most of that night packing the gear, weighing it and balancing it and getting it ready to load on the horses the next day. And then the next morning the folks will come and we'll all either rendezvous at the trailhead or the ranch. If we're taking a high country wilderness trip, we'll be on horseback for about 7-8 hours, going back into the high country. And everybody's pretty exhausted after that. So the next day, sometimes they ride, sometimes they just want to sit around the camp or go fishing. And then throughout that week or however long they want to stay, we'll do various horseback rides or hiking adventures, that kind of stuff. But we're building some facilities on the ranch that will allow us to have people stay on the ranch with us for a day or two prior to the trip and after the trip, as opposed to coming in and staying downtown and then, you know, not having anything to do. They can come out to the ranch, spend the night with us, have a good meal. Next day we'll get up, we'll put them on a horse and give them a little clinic on horseback riding. So a lot of people come to us with no experience, and that'll make them a little bit more comfortable on the long ride into the camp. The drop camps, we're pretty proud of those. We take people up, you know, maybe they don't want the full service experience, they want to camp on their own, but they want to bring their own equipment. So we horseback them into one of our camps, drop them off, we keep them supplied, we haul their elk or their deer out if they get it, and then we haul them out at the end of the season. And then, of course, after archery muzzleload, we take down our high country camps because they're up around 10,000 feet or so, and we don't like to get snowed in. So then we move down to what we call the low country at around 8,000 to 9,000 feet, and we set up our rifle camps. And again, we have a full service guided camp as well as 4 or 5 drop camps in that area. And then we do the whole thing for 3 different rifle seasons. Of course, we would like to invite folks to come on out and visit with us. We can provide them a great backcountry mountain experience or hunting expedition in southwestern Colorado. You can get hold of us through our website, sanjuanoutfitting.com, or you can call us at the ranch, 970-731-4868. Either way, we'll get a dialogue going, seeing what kind of adventure would meet your needs, and be glad to provide that for you.